She was the woman everyone admired. Beautiful, successful, the kind of person you'd never suspect could harm a fly. But behind her perfect smile and glamorous life was a dark secret no one saw coming. What if the person you trust the most is the one who could destroy you? If you're intrigued, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more chilling stories that will keep you hooked till the very end. Don't miss out on the terror. Subscribe now. Vivienne Blair had always been the center of attention. Whether she walked into a room or simply glanced across the street, people noticed. Men couldn't help but admire her beauty, and women secretly envied her effortlessly polished life. Her charm was intoxicating, and she used it like a weapon, subtle, powerful, and precise. Her life seemed picture-perfect, a glamorous mix of high-end fashion, exclusive events, and an endless circle of admirers. But behind the captivating smile and perfect hair, there was an emptiness, a void only she understood. And that void, it could only be filled by control. Her past, long buried beneath layers of makeup and designer dresses, was one of pain and abandonment. Her father, a ruthless and emotionally cold man, had never shown her affection. Her mother, a passive figure, was never able to protect her from the constant neglect. Vivienne had learned early on that love was a game to be played, not something to be given freely. And so she played the game better than anyone. By day, she was a socialite, attending parties, mingling with the city's elite. By night, she hunted. The men she chose were always the same: wealthy, powerful, desperate for affection. They all fell for her quickly, and every time they did, she used their adoration to weave her deadly trap. With every touch, every whispered promise, Vivienne drew them closer to their doom. The first victim was James Rutherford, a successful entrepreneur known for his wealth and charm. He was everything Vivienne could want: powerful, influential, and deeply infatuated with her. He believed she was the perfect match, someone to settle down with. But Vivienne had no intentions of settling. She wasn't looking for a partner. She was looking for someone to control. James had no idea what he was walking into. For weeks, he showered Vivienne with affection, thinking she was his dream come true. Their relationship moved quickly, too quickly, perhaps. The days blended together in a haze of romance, but something felt off. Vivienne would cancel plans last minute, avoid his calls, and disappear for days. Each time she returned with an excuse, always convincing, always leaving him wanting more. It wasn't long before James was utterly consumed by her. He became addicted to her beauty, her presence, and her approval. And that's when Vivienne made her move. It started subtly. James had begun to feel unwell, but he blamed the stress of work and travel. Vivienne, ever the attentive girlfriend, was there to care for him, bringing him soups, soothing his headaches, making sure he was comfortable. The perfect woman, his perfect woman. He was completely in her grip. One evening, Vivienne prepared a quiet dinner for him. The food was light, the atmosphere intimate. She smiled as she served him a glass of wine. He drank it eagerly, not noticing the slight alteration in the taste. He didn't know that Vivienne had slipped poison into the wine, just enough to make it look like a heart attack or overdose, just enough to rid herself of the man who had become her latest obsession. The next morning, James was found dead in his bed. The cause? acute heart failure. The police suspected nothing more than a natural death, but Vivienne knew. She had orchestrated it all perfectly. Another victim, another trophy in her collection. Vivienne shed no tears. She went to the funeral, played the grieving girlfriend to perfection, and used the attention to further cement her image as the tragic beauty. Everyone sympathized with her loss, but only she knew the truth. She wasn't grieving. She was calculating her next move. But Vivienne's cold, methodical murders didn't go unnoticed for long. Detective Mark Lawson had been investigating a string of deaths among the city's wealthy elite, all of which seemed to have suspicious patterns. Each victim had been romantically involved with Vivienne, and the circumstances surrounding their deaths were oddly similar. Poison, accidents, heart attacks, nothing that stood out at first glance, but to someone paying attention, it was all too coincidental. As Lawson dug deeper, he learned about Vivienne's past. A history of failed relationships, manipulative behavior, and troubling encounters with men who had mysteriously disappeared or died after getting close to her. He realized that Vivienne wasn't just a beautiful woman. She was a master manipulator, a serial killer hiding behind a perfect facade. But catching her would be no easy feat. Vivienne had perfected the art of staying one step ahead. She knew how to cover her tracks, how to make people love her just enough to trust her, and how to leave no trace behind. It was going to take more than just investigation. It was going to take strategy, patience, and a bit of luck. Lawson could feel the pressure building. The more he uncovered, the more he realized how dangerous Vivienne truly was. He had to stop her before she claimed another life. As Detective Lawson closed in on Vivienne, she grew more reckless. Her charm remained her weapon, but the cracks were starting to show. At a high society event, Vivienne met her next victim, Ethan, a tech mogul who was harder to deceive. Unlike the others, Ethan didn't fall for her seductive games. Instead, he suspected something dark beneath her beauty and started his own investigation. Ethan confronted Vivienne one night, pushing her to admit the truth. Cornered and desperate, Vivienne confessed her need for control, revealing her past and twisted obsession with power over others. But her confession came too late. Lawson, who had been tracking her every move, arrested Vivienne just as she tried to flee the city. The woman who had charmed and killed her way through the elite was finally unmasked. In the end, Vivienne's beauty couldn't save her from the consequences of her deadly game. If you found this story gripping, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more chilling true crime and suspenseful tales. Don't miss out on future stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat.